Hi, I'm Jarrett Davis and I was ranked as the second best performing Forex trader in the world by the Barclays Currency Traders Index between 2008 and 2013. Now, of course, this is the risk events video. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to basically share my trading plan with you for the coming week. And we're going to go to the calendar. We're going to look at which news events are actually going to be moving the markets. And then what we're going to do is go to the charts and show you which currency pairs you want to be trading based on those events. So we're going to have different scenarios, different plans for each event. So without further ado, let's go to the charts and the calendar now, and I'll show you exactly what I'm thinking over the coming 7 days. Okay, so we come to the calendar and we can see that we are looking at obviously week beginning the 17th. Now, they've got two key events that I'm going to be trading this week, two real important ones. First of all are inflation figures from the UK and the US, okay? So the inflation figure is the first thing, okay? We've got one from the UK on Tuesday the 18th. CPI is expected to come out 1.2, which is the same as it was before, which is very low, okay? It's well below their 2% target. It's going down, okay, which is something the UK have expressed concern in. The Bank of England have already said last week or the week before in their quarterly inflation report that it is a concern to them, and this is something that they're worried about. So this provides more downside risk for the pound, basically, okay, particularly against the US dollar. If this figure comes in at 1.2 or below, we could see downward pressure on the pound continue, and we want to be selling into those rallies. So if the pound dollar rallies, we want to be selling into it. Basically just based on the fact that the risk on this fund's downside. If it comes out 1.3 or above, this could provide some upside support. Now, it's going to have to come out over 1.5 to give any sustained hopes on a full-blown recovery on the pound, okay? And any kind of resetting of those hike expectations on the Bank of England. We currently expect them to hike in November 2015. If it comes out 1.5 or above, that will change. Of course, they'll probably put those rate hikes forward a little bit sooner. So we need to watch this figure very closely, because this directly correlates to when the Bank of England will hike rates. If it stays below 1.3, if it's like 1.2 or below, of course we're expecting negativity to continue. But if it's above 1.2, that probably won't be enough to keep a sustained rally going, only if it gets above 1.5. Okay, so keep those figures in head. That's what we're looking out for. Now, if we go further now to Wednesday the 19th, next big important thing, we've got a BOJ press conference and monetary policy statement. This press conference is going to be massive, considering we've just had that negative GDP figure from Japan. Okay, now the GDP has shown recession in Japan, and what this means is that Abenomics, okay, the stimulus program that the Japanese have instigated in April 2013. Is it working? Okay, questions are going to be asked, eyebrows are going to be raised, because they've been doing it for almost 2 years and they've slipped back into recession. Is it going to be enough? Does this mean that the Bank of Japan are going to lose faith? Or does it mean the Bank of Japan have got to fire even more bullets into the market? Whichever the answer is, will be a completely opposite reaction of the Japanese yen. So we need to know what the Bank of Japan are thinking here. If they come out and say something along the lines of, well, it's not going to change what we're doing, we're just going to do it more, we can expect the yen to start weakening again. If they come out and show concern and there's a little bit of hesitancy, any kind of hesitation from the Bank of Japan about maybe what the next steps are, this could create uncertainty, and it's this uncertainty that feeds those safe haven flows in the market. Okay, so this is what we want to pay close attention to, the monetary policy statement. You don't want to be positioning yourself ahead of this, but as soon as the price comes out, if there's a reaction, if the Bank of Japan give the market a clear thing to trade, we want to get in on that and trade along with it. Now, notice you've got some bank rate votes and asset purchase facility from the UK. That's not important this week because of the CPI figure we just talked about. The final thing that I'm going to be focusing on as a tradable event is the US CPI. Month-on-month figure is expected to come out minus 0.1, but the core, which basically excludes all the volatile things like energy, the core reading is expected to come out 0.2. So it's expected to be higher than last time, showing a little improvement in the US CPI figure. Okay, if we get a more positive figure, again, that will excite the market and put rate hikes, back on the table. Everyone thinks the US are going to raise first at the moment, so if a strong CPI reading will just back that up. Of course, if it's weaker, that could disappoint the market and put those rate hikes a little bit further off. Inflation now is the key number for the US and the UK. We need to be figuring out what these CPI figures are. because the market's going to be basing their rate hike expectations on these figures. Employment's big as well, but employment's kind of now fading away. Inflation's now becoming the key metric to kind of drive the prices. Okay, so particularly for the UK, particularly for the US, these inflation figures are very, very important, and however they come out, that will probably dictate the direction of those currencies over the rest of the week. Okay, so they're the big events I'm looking for. Inflation figures from the US and the UK. And of course, we're looking for those comments from the Bank of Japan during their monetary policy statement. So I hope that helps. Hopefully you guys can use that information along with me to make some pips too.